Give me a second.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Introduce myself. Myself is Sharan. I'm having 12 plus years experience in SharePoint development admin. Both the experience I have. I have worked in Wipro tax technology for Asia. These are all companies I have worked. About myself. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. I'm recording this session. It's
Okay.
already started the recorded. Okay, in between any doubts, you can feel free to ask me. I will
Okay.
uh, definitely, I will, whatever the doubts it is there, I've clarified those doubts. Okay, in the session, in the syllabus, whatever it is shared to you, and I'm opening that syllabus content to you. If it is not shared, you can ask mm, Shavani. She will be shared this training syllabus to you. Okay, here it is different modules which is topics. First of all, we it's a introduction in that what is SharePoint. And the SharePoint, it is one of the portal technology. We can create the sites very easily. It is one of the collaboration tool, document management, all this and the key features, whatever it is available. The feature like collaboration, the other document management, this integration with the other apps. These are all the key feature. And the version history, we have the different versions, 2010, 13 6 sorry 2003, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, and these are all different versions we have. And we I will explain all these versions, what are all versions it is available. The components in the SharePoint, the physical server architecture. There are three major components for a physical server for architecture. One is like app server or web server, and then other is database server. This is a three-tier architecture, and that these components it's a physical server architecture, which is and the app server, the app which is hosted, and we can have the configurations of service application, VCS user purpose, such all these are all some service application. The other web server, the where your website is hosted, where it is hosted, that is a web server. Database server, the is the data which is stored into the database, that is a database server, SQL server. All these are all the component in the SharePoint. And the development view of SharePoint, the development view, developers for a view of SharePoint, it is a one of the important like a developer for a building any web application. It is a very easily we can develop SharePoint projects and all. That is why it is a very important for the developer for developing the website and the managing and the customize all these branding, look and feel, everything we can easily do in that SharePoint. The most of the company they prefer to use almost all 95% they use the SharePoint, SharePoint for this website and all portal. That is almost all every MNC company they're using the SharePoint, including like all the domains, manufactured, banking, any of the domain, finance, all these domains the uses the SharePoint. While coming to second topic, in the second topic, second module, the SharePoint installation and the administration, and the hardware and the software. The hardware required is RAM. It is for 8 GB is RAM is needed. If in case like RAM it is less than 8 GB, you can extend that to up to 8 GB. RAM should be there. It's more. While this if it is RAM, it is very less, means the whatever if install the server, it will be a slow. That is why the RAM should be a minimum it's 8 GB is needed. More than also it is fine. And ROM it's 250 GB. One drive you dedicate for that 250 GB, you can free that space. And okay, I will help you how to install. I can install the server and the 2016 or 19 server, any of the server you can install it in your laptop. Software required is needed: Windows Server, SQL Server, SharePoint Server, and these are all software is needed to be install those software. Okay, and this is a software requirement: Windows Server, SQL Server, SharePoint Server. Will I will be install it server, and if you ready with the configuration, RAM it's 8 GB, ROM it's 250 GB, and it is a free space for one of the drive 250 GB. Supported browser, and what are all the browser it is supported, the SharePoint. The browser it is supported the Microsoft Edge is main supported browser, and the Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer. All these browsers it supported. The Internet Explorer, generally we don't use more. We use the Microsoft Edge for any of the SharePoint sites for opening. Okay, types of installation. There are different types of installation we have. One is the single server farm. installation, multiple level forms installation. All these are all will types of installation. For practicing and all, it's uh, not needed like multi server installation. You can enough like single server form installation. uh, we do that one. Software to be installed, and what are all the software is needed while doing that topic. I will tell you even like some of the software is needed. SharePoint Online Management Shell, Visual Studio, SharePoint Designer. All this topic, whenever I'm teaching, that time I will tell you. Central administration site. Central administration site, in a sense, the central administration. Once you install the server, we get that central administration, and in that we create the site collection in the central administration. Managed account, service account. There are two accounts we have, and the managed account. This managed account is managed by the SharePoint, that is call it as a managed account. How to create those managed account, we'll see in central administration itself. And configuring sending receiving email, incoming outgoing emails which is configured, and that we'll see in the central administration itself. In central administration we have the incoming emails and the outgoing emails, and we discuss in their this. And this is the entire module, SharePoint installations and the module administration, installations and the administration. And the third module, SharePoint site hierarchy. And the site hierarchy, in a sense, the SharePoint server. For SharePoint server, it is a form, server, web application, and the subsite, sorry, and the site collection, subsite, list, library. This is a hierarchy of the SharePoint site hierarchy for the on-premises, means SharePoint online server. SharePoint online is a hierarchy, it is different. That site collections, subsite, list, and library. We don't have any form, server, web application, all this and all. It is there in SharePoint server itself. And in SharePoint online, we cannot create any web applications, form, all this we don't have in this SharePoint online. Okay, web application, it is a collection of multiple site collection, and we create that web application in the central administration, manage, and the manage application management. In that we create those web application. And the site collection, it's a one of the top level site, and this collection of subsites, we call it as a site collection. We will create that in the site, create a site collection we have in the topic in application management. There itself we create this site collection, as well as creating the sites and the subsite is we create the sites and the subsite, as well as subsite and the subsite we create. Once it is created the site collection, we create the subsite. And the home page, I will explain the elements in the home page. What are all it is, once it is created the sign, we get that home page. In the home page, site icon, site logo, top link bar, site action, top link bar, uh, quick launch, site action. These are all the site gear icon. All these are all is a element of the home page. We'll discuss all this. And the branding, site look and feel, we can change the branding of the site themes, and we can apply all this. will branding. Save site as template. We can save site as template. I want to move the site to some other location, different location. If we use that save site as template, the extension for that, the WSP file, it is an extension. Create the site from a template. For the template, we can create the site. For the template means the site template we have. There are different types of site template. One is the team site, blog, community. All these are all the site developer. All these are all the site template. This is the third module, SharePoint site hierarchy. List and library. It creates the custom list, the custom list and the library, adding the columns, the custom column. There are different types of the list. It is a collection of item content type, version, the major version, attach a file. We can create the columns in it. Single line of text, multiple line of text, choice, drop down, other the person or group lookup. All these columns will create side columns and the group. And the side column, it's a column definition. It's a reusable of same column to the multiple list that we call it as a side column. The sorting and the filter we can do in the view. We create the view, standard view, on the data sheet view, calendar view, grand view. In that view, we can sorting and the filter of the list items. Content type. Content type, it is a collection of metadata, and the we can reusable of metadata workflows to multiple list or library. We can create the content type, add the content type to the list template, save list as template dot stp file, and we can move that list to different site collection. Versioning of the data. Versioning, we can maintain the version for each item to different versions. Can be, it is a major version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Adding the document, uploading the document in the document library. Document template, same library template. We can save document as a template. um, check Checkout, check-in, edit, Discord checkout, and these are all, it is in document library. Checkout, before editing the document, we do the checkout. Other user cannot able to edit the document. Check-in, if after editing the document, do the check-in. Other user can able to see the changes in the document. Discard checked out its previous changes. This is cover in this pre defined list and library. Another topic, user and group permission. Authentication versus authorization. Authentication means it is a token base authentication, and we generate some token. If you log in into any Gmail account, it asks for some OTP, and enter that OTP, whatever it is generate, that call it as the authentication. Authorization, in a sense, it is a giving the permission. Whether that any if you have any doubts, you can feel free to ask me in between. Okay, I can explain it if any doubt you have. Authorization. Authorization, in a sense, it's for any permissions. The permissions want to access, whether it checks whether the user having the permission or not. That checking is called authorization. Only authorization user means, authorization means the permission, whoever having the permission for that uh, Gmail account. the that person's only log in with that account, not all the person. SharePoint groups. There are three groups we have. Owner group full control. Member group is edit permission. Visitor group is read permission. We create the custom permission group, the custom permission level. We can have the own permission can be create those, and the granting the permission to the user, custom permission group, sorry, permission group. We create the permission groups custom, the added that user to the group, granting the permission to the user or group, create the custom permission level. Here it is, the custom permission level in a sense. If you don't want any default permission level, full control, edit, contribute, read, view permission, we can create our own custom permission level, binded those user groups and the permission level. We can grant the permission, managing the permissions in the subsite. In the subsite, we can manage inherits the permission from the parent site or unique permission, allows the user to create their own site. For own site, the self-service site creation, we can create it, and the own site will be created by the end user. The permission for a list or library list item, the item level permissions and the list level permission. And this is the users groups and the permission topic. Okay, here it is same, it is repeated. Okay, fine. In the client based authentication and the authorization, SharePoint group, create the custom group. Here it is, the users and the group, the client based authentications and the classic uh, base authentication, two authentication it is there, and we'll see those two authentications. And the users and groups, it is just now we discussed. The one more time it is repeated here. Okay, this two, one. This is already repeated. This one. Okay, client-based authentication. This authentication is needed the username and the password to authenticate of the work. The database for a authentication using the membership and the role provider. The client-based authentication for a application allows the anonymous access in the web application. Anyone can access the web application. While creating the web application, we create this client-based authentication. We enable the form-based authentication. There are in client-based authentication two authentication: Windows authentication, form-based authentication. Windows authentication is needed the system login credential, and the form-based authentication, username and the password to use to authenticate the form-based authentication. Enable the web config of a web application. In the web application, web config file to editing, and this is a configuration file for any web application. We use the zones. There are five types of zone: default, intranet, internet, custom, extranet. These are all the different zones. We create alternative access mapping. All these are all the central administration. It will be covered and these topics. central administration, SharePoint server, alternative access mapping, implicit inclusion, wildcard inclusion. There are two types in the mapping. And the implicit inclusion, it's outside of site URL we can give. Implicit inclusion, only one site URL can be give. Enterprises content management. Content management, enterprises manage metadata service. The metadata, data about the data, it's manage metadata, and this manage metadata, we create those manage metadata. We can have the quick filters and the search with that, and the terms and the term set and the keyword. If I'm searching any terms, that result will be shown in the suggested keyword. Enterprises content type. This enterprises content type, it is helpful for searching the any data. Document set, it's a collection of multiple documents, and it's a collection of multiple documents into the single set. That is a document set. Document ID, service and the ID. The IDs, it is preserved of the document. With that IDs, we can update, and all this we can do. And the content organization, automatic routing, the organize of any content in place of record management. And this is a meta enterprises metadata content management will cover. User profile is configure those user profile in the central administration. We create those user profile. User profile, what is user profile? And the social computing means the service application for configure, synchronize service, and work on those audience. It is very important. Audience targeting is target the content of audience. And the tags and nodes, we can do that in the user profile, tags and nodes, and to work with the my site is a own personal site. We can create in that my site, own personal site, that we call it as the my site. That is a user profile. This is a such one, such related one. And the purpose of the enterprises such solution, service such service application for configure, and the such component, what are all it is available, such component, and the crawling, the crawling and the result set and the keyword, and the such scope. All this we do in the search. Mainly this there are such component, crawl content, sorry, component, index component, content processing component, and these are all components. And the crawl, there are different crawl types: continuous crawl, incremental crawl, the full crawl. These are all types of the crawling. The manage property and the crawl property, the result set. All this will do in the search one. PowerShell command. The PowerShell we can do like a PNP or on premises PowerShell for creating the web application site collections, and the PowerShell snap in the Windows PowerShell script have written, and the IAC, the Windows IAC, and the pipelines in that comments. Backup and restore in the web application we do, where in a sense we in the central administration we .BAK file, it is a backup. The restore and the backup and the restore, the import into the import from one data from one list to another list, the export and import the data. This is covered in the backup and restore. In central administration, we do the backup and restore. Server object models, and this server object model, the DLL, the Microsoft SharePoint DLL is used, and the services, server object, SP pump, SP web application, SP site, SP web, SP list, SP list item, and we do the CRUD operation of the server object model, create, read, update, delete, and the architecture of the server architecture is a form server, web application, site collection, subsite, and the camel versus link queue. In the camel, it is for a any introduce in that here we are not using any camel query. We use the SP query in SharePoint server object model, and we'll see that queries and the camel query, it is in JavaScript object model. It is okay. Link queue to SharePoint. We converts to the SharePoint. We write those implementing those giants. This is a server object model, and the client object model managing the object models, the CRUD operations, and some any content type creation subsite. All this in the client object model. It is a client, some builder, some client application. In the 2DLL, the Microsoft SharePoint client, the Microsoft SharePoint client dot runtime DLL, it is used. And the Visual Studio, it's a 2015 or 17 to be installed at Visual Studio, and the package and we built at the solution, SharePoint solution. Where other the template, we can create the list definition, the content type on the list, and the custom action. All this in the Visual Studio topic, we can create those, and the features which the create the features, feature activated and the feature deactivated, feature events in it, and the managing the SharePoint solution, SharePoint solution for managing using the PowerShell, add -sp solution, install -sp solution, and the future scope, SP web application, SP site, SP web, and this is a future scope. Event receiver, event receiver before event, after event, event receiver base class, SP event receiver base. In Visual Studio, we can create this event receiver before after events, item being added, item adding, item updating, item deleting, item added, item updated, item deleted, and this is a event receiver. And the web part, there are some out of box web part, classic web parts and the modern web parts. We'll see the both the web parts. Classic web part, content editor, script editor, search, the blog, community. These are all the classic web parts, and the modern web parts, events, hero, file, quick link, bing map. These are all some modern web part, and the common web parts we use, and managing those web part, create those custom web part, the visual web part we create in the .NET, which is on the web part we add some galleries connecting those web part. Yes, this is a web part topic. In the web part structure, what is the web part? Web part, it is a divided into the page into multiple session, that is call it as the web part. workflows. The workflows there are the, these are all the out of bus workflows. There are five types of workflows we have. One is approval workflow, three-state workflow, collect feedback, collect signature, dispositional workflow. We'll see this workflows topic, and the other in the SharePoint designer also we can create the workflows, list workflow, reusable workflow, site workflow. In Visual Studio, sequential workflow, state machine workflow, managing those workflow instance in the form. And this is a workflow. Workflow is a asynchronous mode. When a new item it is created, it's an action it is performed. That is a workflow. BDC, business catalog service, under BCS, business connectivity service. In SharePoint 2013 it is introduced the BCS, and this both the read and write, and we configure that into the central administration. The external list, external content type is needed to uh, have that external data. If want to get the external data SQL data, we the business connectivity services it is used. The info path form it is now it is depreciated. It's no longer it is available. Instead of that one, we the Power Apps I will teach perform customization. Okay, now nowadays we using the Power Apps form. This info path form it is depreciated in the SharePoint Online. No longer it is available, and I will explain that Power Apps it is fine. In the Power Apps, we generally use the form customization. Power Apps is more. SharePoint add-ins there are SharePoint hosted add-in, provider hosted add-in. We build those add-ins. The SharePoint hosted apps means it is hosted the app into the server SharePoint site. That is a SharePoint hosted apps under the client side object model. Provider hosted apps. This app it is main the outside of the SharePoint, and we create those with the provider hosted app. The app deployment and the app management .app file, and deploy that into the app catalog. Um, App catalog, and this is all the syllabus will be covered within 45 days, which is, and the regular classes will be there, and the Sunday no classes, 6 days classes, 1 hour session, 45 days class will be there. Okay, any doubts? If you want to ask, you can ask me. If you want to add any new syllabus or new content, you can feel free to ask me. I will add the content, and also I will teach it. Apart from this content, also I can extra content also I can teach it if you need it, miss. And the maximum all the syllabus it is covered in this course uh, content. Uh, any doubts in this one?
Now,
No doubts,
we're
actually.
yeah,
We are good.
Yeah, it's good, right?
yeah, it's fine.
Okay, everything have the whatever the brief idea, the course which is the content it is there. Everything I have explained it clearly, and all this will follow this course content according to will complete within 45 days of duration of daily 1 hour session. Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, fine.
Okay, thanks for joining. Okay, have a good day.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.